So this video may be strange to some, but the thing is, I really do love the SCP fanbase and the community and everything about it. My whole channel is pretty much based off SCP. I used to have a series on it, and you may have seen me play a couple SCP related games, namely the one we're talking about today, but also my very first video on this channel is actually a SCP Breach gameplay from Gary's mod. So I am a big fan of this SCP lore, and recently I've been kind of getting back into playing Secret Laboratory again, and I'm not going to introduce anyone to Secret Lab. I'm kind of taking this as people know what Secret Lab is, and I'm going to just kind of be talking about the new update that's been announced. And if you don't know what the new update is the Guns Overhaul. Now, back in 2018, 2 years, well, yeah, 2-ish years, I don't know, 2 years ago, from now, like, at least, there was a gun overhaul, because originally the guns, I wouldn't say the models were terrible, but the models just didn't really fit the game. Like, SCP is futuristic in some sort of capacity, but it's not futuristic to the point where we have literal laser rifles. So they kind of swapped it out with more realistic, real life sorts of weapons, which, yeah, they're really nice. But nowadays, with all the new lighting changes and stuff, the guns kind of don't fit anymore, and they kind of need an update to make it look nicer. I don't think they're gonna do a complete. They're gonna do a complete overhaul. So never mind about that previous statement. But yeah, they're going to add some new features and remove some old guns, add some new guns, and stuff like that. This update is just gonna be great. I've always wanted a guns overhaul for a long time. I thought the guns were... I liked the gunplay and whatnot, but they needed an update. I wanted the models to be updated so they look a lot more like the environment in SCP-SL as they do today. So, yeah, that's what they're going to do now. They are literally overhauling all the guns. We're going to have some say goodbye. I'm guessing the Comp 15 is probably going to be one of them, if I'm going to be honest, and the MP7 maybe, but we'll also experience some new guns, and we're going to get gun updates. I think I've already repeated that, so let's just get into the actual basis that we're going to be talking about. So the first part is the actual guns overload. As I said, they are going to remove some, replace the removed ones, and then also add some new ones, and the ones that are staying in the game are going to be just remodeled and stuff. So personally, one thing I had this is a personal thing that I had a big issue with. I thought was how people treated the guns. I thought there was not really any verticality with how people picked. So how the gun hierarchy in the game goes is, okay, I'm gonna put two guns on screen. You tell me which one you think looks better. If you thought the LMG, the Logicia, looks better, you'd be wrong. It's actually the MTF E11 or the assault rifle of the game. Which, the only reason why the MTF E11 is more powerful is because, first off, it does maximum damage to SCPs, while the Logicia only 50% of the damage is revoked. The Logicia has no attachments at all. They really need to add attachments for the Logicia to actually make it more versatile, because I really want attachments to be added into into that gun. I think all guns need more attachments, because the only reason why people pick the MTF E11 over any other gun in the game is because the MTF E11 has the most attachments in the game. You can definitely do a lot with it, and I think it would be cool to add a more, more attachments to the guns. So yeah, am I going to be talking about predictions for the new weapons, I will get into my personal predictions on what two of these guns, new guns, or one of the replaced guns will be. But I think that's all I really have to say about the actual overhauled guns. We're going to move on now to the body armor. So, if you've never played SCP-SL, there is multiple classes in the game. Some classes are respawns of dead people. So you have the MTF and the Chaos Insurgency. Now, they never had body armor in the game. So to simulate sort of body armor, they pretty much gave, the Chaos 20 more HP than average human. And the MTF commander would have 50 more health to simulate that he has stronger body armor. But that's all being removed now. So all humans have 100 HP. And instead, we're going to get a new item called the body armor. And the body armor will do the same effects. It will, give bullet resistance and a little bit of explosive resistance. And another cool thing is you can store more ammunition in body armor and more grenades, which I love that feature so much. I remember grenades would just clutter up the inventory. So now with this new body armor, inventory management can be so much better. Another thing about the inventory, however, is they revealed that they're also going to be updating the scripts for the already existing inventory. The inventory isn't changing design. The design's going to stay the same. I bet it's going to stay the same forever. But they are pretty much now, there's an actual sorting system, which just makes me jizz everywhere. I love how they did it. Now we don't have to drop items to sort out the inventory. We can just, drag it across and boom. Or you can drag it out and drop it instead of having to, right click instead. And they also revealed a new radio model, which looks fine as hell. I love that radio model. Next up, the Chaos Insurgency balance. The Chaos Insurgency has always been the standard. Everyone gets an LMG and just goes into the facility and tries to kill everyone. Now, that is no more, because just like the MTF, the Chaos Insurgency will be getting subclasses with different guns. And that's where I think some of these new weapons are going to come into play. And I want to introduce you to a concept which I call the AK-12. Now, I chose the AK-12 because, the Chaos Insurgency likes to use AK Kalashnikov weapons. But I definitely think the AK-47 is just kind of too barren, and it's in every video game ever, and it's no longer really in use in Russia. However, something like the AK-12 is, and I do adore the AK-12. I don't know why, I just like the AK-12. So I think the AK-12 would be a good, replacement for some of these subclasses who wouldn't get the Logicia. So yeah, I think the AK-12 could be good for these subclasses. I don't know what else to really say about that, but I'm definitely I appreciate that they took into consideration the Chaos, because the Chaos have always kind of been somewhat boring. And that's really it for the update. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.